Everybody come on in, we'll get started this morning. It is 10 o'clock.
Just
cut it.
That was off the list.
Yeah. Neither did you.
You need agents all around. Whatever you.
Yeah,
that's cute. I wasn't at the rodeo. My body was at the rodeo.
No,
she was not there.
I was like, so
All here today.
I know. My goodness.
Want to watch too? Want to watch? Sure. Okay. Give the date. I'm here. Is that yours? Yeah, all this is mine. We all just like, sorry.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming and being in person or online. Thank you, Mansfield. I can see you on Eddie's machine. That's wonderful. Thank you. I can see you guys. That's great. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. We got a little something extra going on this morning. We have a roofer that has joined us, and we're actually going to take a field trip.
We love it.
It's going to be cool. Today, a core value. So Jamie last week took over and presented, and he and I were talking in the background, and he's like, hey, we changed all the core values and really refined them. And I was like, well, when did that happen? And he said, well, probably a year ago. And I said, well, that would have been great if I knew that. But I didn't. So this is our core value number 13, and it's been rewritten a little bit more precisely. So what we believe that being clear is kind and communicate with radical candor. We embrace the benefits of simultaneously caring personally and challenging directly in our interpersonal communications. Serving others well means removing confusion, keeping the process simple and stress-free. Stress, tension, and conflict are often avoided by simply managing expectations. Our clients should never have to wonder what's going to happen next. We are clear, honest, not afraid to be open about bad news or to have hard conversations. We encourage this pursuit of simplicity within our team so they can focus on the right priorities and achieve their goals. We relentlessly pursue clarity by managing expectations well. The reason I chose this one today is because we're going to be going into inspections, which is going to also tie into what we're about to do with our field trip. You guys online are going to get a virtual field trip because I'm going to take my phone and we're going to go outside and visit with Susan McReynolds, Joseph, and Leslie right now. We're going to go out and they're actually going to do a roof inspection for us outside. So let's go outside and let me present from here because this is where I'm going to change it.
Yeah.
Going on field trip. Okay, so we are going outside and I'm going to present this. Everybody kind of watch my screen and I'm going to, I don't know how to turn this thing around. I think I tapped it. But I'm going to take us outside and show you what's going on here.
Okay.
You got it. That's important. All right.
Yeah, I'm going to go out, right? Already.
We're on.
Hi, we're from Caldwell Exteriors, and we actually changed it up a little bit today, and we're going to do an inspection so you'll kind of get a visual of how quick it is, how easy it is to put one together for your listing, just peace of mind. So no surprises happen at closing or during your inspection. And so we have Leslie and Joseph do a little inspection really quick. Do it right here, Leslie. Do your light. Right there.
Yeah.
Yes, right there.
I'm gonna let you hold this for a second.
Sure.
And you got to kind of watch where they are.
Yeah.
Until I go turn this other thing.
All right, Leslie. Say hi. Hi. Wait, hold on. Who's watching this? Virtually. So we're gonna get started with doing an inspection right now. This is typically how simple it goes. Basically, we just have whoever show up to do the inspection. It takes 5 to 10 minutes, and this is really where we get the homeowner that peace of mind that they need to see what's up there. We'll document everything so the process is really nice and smooth. We make sure that the homeowner has access to all of the documentation that really seems to, make them a bit more comfortable with the process. So typically what we would do is we'll take a bunch of pictures of the process. If there's any hail damage or anything that needs to be documented for insurance purposes, we make sure to take pictures of that. And then the homeowner will have a portal where they can access all of the pictures, all of the documents, contracts, and everything that we've put together for them. Again, it streamlines the process and it makes things a lot easier with insurance. So whenever they want to come back and maybe approve for only a partial or fully deny it, we're fine with that, because at the end of the day, we're able to go back to the pictures and make sure that everything's documented. So again, we can have this this inspection happen within 24 hours. I was gonna get on the roof, but I brought the wrong shoes. I'm just trying it. Y'all hear him okay?
Yeah.
He's gonna go over a little bit of things that happened during the inspection.
While we're on the roof, you use chalk. Don't worry about the damage. We'll wash stuff with the first grade. So look at your pipe jacks. Usually they're plastic. Sometimes they can be metal. Got your wind turbines, we call them whirly birds. Those are your soft metals. We use that as collateral. Insurance companies look for hail hits, but they also look for proof of other damage. Your gutters, for instance, they may be okay, but you can still use them. But hey, you want to increase the value of your home, get your gutters replaced as well. So for instance, if there was a hail hit here, I'd mark with my finger just to make sure, and I'd circle it. Take a picture of it for you so I can show you in person what exactly it looks like. Then we mark up your soft metal with the chalk, so you would know that the damage is actually there. We go on every side of the plane of the roof, north, south, east, and west. Typically, insurance look for 8 hits on every side. For me, I'm pretty good. I got good eyes, 20/20 vision. I'm gonna find it for you. Get your claim. Usually, if the roof is steep, I wouldn't do it. But I'm not scared. I want your home to be covered. Get what you're paying for. Let's see. We'll also replace every soft metal, including your turtle vents, gutters, turbines, and pipe jacks as well. An inspection takes about 15 minutes. Can you hear me? An inspection takes about 15 minutes, up and down, all around. Window screens, gutters, roof is the main priority. If we can get your roof bought, we can get everything else bought as well. We can even do repaints, stains on the fence to increase the value of your home. What else do I need, Susan?
That was pretty good. I just, again, to reiterate how it's free, 15 minutes. It can help y'all with your living. You can do a pre-living for their health advisors, and we'll just what everything. So this is the way, and especially put it together, that's how fast we can put it together for one of your lists. So if this is all, we could even get them up on a few roofs today. So
You guys have like a written report you provide to the seller?
yeah, so that we have a portal that we can actually send to them. And so what he's talking about the chalk marks, the gutter, just really building a case, because when insurance tries to say there's not enough damage, we'll have at least 40 pictures saying, well, there is, and they will have access to all that as well.
Y'all have like a product or program for, like, let's say, just like a roof fresh up, new sealant, repaint pipe jacks and things like that.
We do, because we also have a small, I know y'all don't need this, we have a small remodel site, so we can really get anything done. Even though we mainly focus on the roofs, but
Yeah, like on the roof, you can do stuff, but if it doesn't need a roof, if you can fix little stuff.
yeah, I mean, they come and they'll glue back down
We can do repairs, but also whenever we're doing a claim, not only the roof is included, we make sure to go over windows, window screens, siding. So there's other elements within a claim that fall within that can be fixed during the process. We typically try to get money for, say, like a fence is damaged or something like that. Anything that's gonna be external, not the roof only, but we can get that too towards the roof so that it benefits the homeowner.
Thank y'all for the field trip. That was really, really cool.
Yeah, I feel like a lot more informative and interactive.
Thank you very much for getting up there, sir. All right, we're going to take you guys back inside and we'll continue our meeting, and I'll be back in just a moment while everybody else makes their way. Okay, we should be back. Y'all have us on audio at this point? Anyone? Thumbs up, anybody? Okay, thank you, Brian Wright. Appreciate it. Okay, well, thank you to Caldwell Exterior for bringing us some tacos this morning. Susan and Leslie and Joseph for coming out. We really appreciate that. Let me go ahead and get back over to the presentation, and we will get started into headlines. There we go. Okay. Huh?
So we should do more field trips.
Okay, so today we're going to do your guide to real estate week 3 inspections. Next week we'll be looking at breakfast. Oh, it's not Susan and Caldwell. That's today. Next week is the insurance guy.
Sequoia.
Jeff
Jeff
Harden will be here next week. I apologize, I didn't change that. But I can't believe I remembered it. That's great. And we're also going to do week 4 professional negotiations from your guide to Texas Real Estate. The week after that, there'll be no meeting. The office will be empty that week, but there will be no meeting the 15th, which is the 18th will be the meeting day. The week after that, we will have week 5 of your down to Texas Real Estate where I wrap it up. And then that day, we're also doing the photo shoot at Highland Homes and Walsh Ranch, and I'll get you more information on that the day of, so you'll know where to go. The day after that, we're doing our 6th Ave Town Hall. The leadership group will decide where that's going to be this coming Tuesday. So I'll know that by next week. So Gil Denson and Company has sent me, I've been communicating with Mr. Denson this week, and they sent us a new flyer that I will put a link to in the brokerage announcements channel. But I had chat run the numbers for what most of these Ownwell and other companies charge. It's anywhere between 30 and 50% of what they save you. With this coupon code, your clients 25% of what they save you. That's all they charge. So last year they saved me, I think it was about $800. I had to pay them $200 for what they did for me. But this is a good deal, so I just wanted to point that out. Here's last week's review, national market update. So the market is stabilizing into a more balanced spring until we had Saturday happen with Iran. That's created a little bit of stuff in the market, but it's not unusual. This stuff does happen. It's a fluctuation. And honestly, when you look at the rates, you'll see they did move, but that's because of instability more so than just us within the housing market. Existing home sales slowed due to weather, improving affordability. Early signs of builder momentum point towards steadier activity ahead. With homes taking longer to sell, buyers have more negotiating leverage. Sellers are adjusting expectations, creating a healthier, more balanced environment. Markets volatile early, then rates improved by week 10. Investors reacted to inflation data and tariff headlines, pushing the treasury yields higher before stabilizing as the week progressed. Inflation continued to moderate. Bond markets improved enough for many lenders to modestly lower rate offerings by Friday. They were down to 5.96, was the lowest I saw on Friday. But we'll see where they are as of yesterday at 4 o'clock. This week's updates on pending home sales, employment data, and inflation help gauge the strength of buyer demand heading into spring. If job stability holds and price pressures continue easing, it would reinforce a steady supported backdrop for housing activity. So the bottom line is the market's stabilizing into a balanced frame. Buyers have leverage, affordability is improving, and steady economic conditions support disciplined, not urgent decisions. Rate watch. Rates are holding steady despite market noise. Even with the fluctuations we've had since Friday, it's still within the range. It's still a 12th of a point, 0.12% of a point. It's not that big of a thing. I heard something on the way in this morning that it's really about $50 to $70 is the change between 5.99 up to 6.12. So it's a nominal change in that rate. Inflation is cooling. The Fed is staying patient. Inflation moderating gradually. Employment remaining steady. Fed's tone remains measured, reinforcing a steady for now rate environment. So rates aren't dropping fast. They're predictable enough to plan around. The advantage right now isn't timing the bottom. It's helping clients act confidently within today's range. So this is yesterday at 4 o'clock. We're at 6.13%, which last week they were at 5.99. You're seeing this 0.1 because it only moved that much since Monday. So this is Monday to Tuesday, it went up 0.1. So last Wednesday, we were at 5.99 on the 30-year convention. So it's still a very nominal number. And if you even look at like week over week from the FHA, look, 5.63 to 5.7. That's 0.07 on the point. That's not a huge difference, even with the instability that we have received since Saturday's events. Okay, so here's the market pulse. Clarissa's view. This is every county that we made, the 6 major counties that we watch. I think this is just for context, just trying to keep an eye on, are we still seeing a lot of price drops? Are the price drops still outweighing the new listings? Wise County? No, they're even. Tarrant County, I mean, they're 180 off.
Parker County, really.
Parker County is still seeing 131 price decreases. Dallas County is seeing 507. They're exactly even. Denton is still seeing bigger price reductions. Johnson County, that makes sense because they're not the 2 major hub counties. So the other ones are going to have a little bit of different market data to pulse on. Local market update. In-migration continues more selectively. DFW is still attracting relocations from California, Illinois, and Northeast. Incoming buyers are more payment sensitive than in 21-22, prioritizing value, schools, long-term livability over speed. Office to residential and mixed-use conversions are gaining traction. Developers across DFW are advancing adaptive reuse and mixed-use projects, signaling long-term urban investment and confidence in walkable, lifestyle-driven demand. We don't have a lot of walkable space in the metroplex. There are neighborhoods, but there's just not a lot of it like there is in New York or Los Angeles or Chicago. But we're seeing more of that. People are starting to think in those terms. DFW's growth story is intact. Today's buyers are more selective and value focused. Agents who understand lifestyle demand and price sensitivity, not just population growth, will lead smarter conversations this spring. Local builder update. The builders are protecting appraisals, not just volume. Several DFW builders are being more strategic with incentives to avoid big face cut price that hurt future comps using lock premiums, credits, lender specific rate plays instead of headline reductions. Had a brand new closing out in Alito. They gave her like $27,000, but it didn't take it off the price of the house. And they want that appraised value to stay right there.
That's probably by her house in Alito.
I'll share, but I'm not going to tell who. I was running comps for my client that closed last summer, and the builder swapped the number on MLS.
How bad?
Pretty super bad.
What
like,
do you mean?
$20,000.
Was the input it wrong?
They put in
Why
that
don't you
she
just
paid.
call it and?
Oh, I did.
Oh, okay.
But they put that she paid more than she actually did.
So it's like, how many other ones are they doing that on?
Yeah. Well, okay.
He said, well.
And I emailed the builder, and the builder never responded.
Of course not. Yeah.
Smaller floor plans and payment-focused designs gaining attention. More communities are highlighting right-size plans and payment-conscious product lines, reflecting buyer sensitivity to monthly affordability rather than max square footage. We've been seeing that coming for a couple of years. Bottom line, builders aren't panicking. They're repositioning. Agents who understand how builders are protecting values while adjusting payments can help buyers negotiate smarter without damaging long-term equity. Here is the local builder update week over week. So up here, last week, Tarrant County and all MLS. This week, We're seeing about the same activity, although the new listings from the builders dropped by 13. The price decreases went up 70. So the builders are still reducing their prices week over week, and we can see that in that 7-day window right there. That's just in Tarrant County. MLS, they had 1325 price reductions last week. This week, 1275. So all of MLS, no, but Tarrant County specifically, yes. So this week's move, run one expectation reset conversation. Call or text the buyer or seller and say, market's not stalled, it's selected. Homes that are priced and prepared right are moving. If we were listing or buying this month, what would need to be true for you to feel confident in day one? You're listening for unrealistic price anchors, timing assumptions, fear disguised as waiting, and avoid conversations. Your job isn't urgency, it's friction removal. Did you know home price corrected from day one are still selling within normal time frames, while overpriced homes are taking 2 to 3 times longer and seeing deeper cuts later. In this market, speed belongs to accuracy, not optimism.
And I'm just on that really fast, like having the hard conversations. My listing in Westward Village was one of my best friends, and they wanted me to list higher. And I let them know, like, I'm comfortable going to this price, but we're not going higher, and here's why. And we put it on the market at 559 the week it froze. So we lost like 5 days on the market. I had that open house Thursday night. We got it under contract Friday at list price. Wow. And I mean, we had concessions, which I prepped them for, but I even had another agent reach out. We closed Monday. I had an agent reach out last week asking me, you know, how close are you, whatever. And she was like super complimentary of like, great job. Like, there's other houses in the neighborhood that are sitting and they're new builds. This is a resale. And it's just like a testament to pricing it correctly, because we could have easily put them in a bad spot and tried to list higher, and they wouldn't be moving into their new house this week.
There you
I
go.
wish all sellers would list them now.
Business tip of the week. Avoid thinking sales and service are separate. Sales is service. Selling should be about helping your prospects make the best decisions for their needs. Focus on the value you provide, and selling will become a seamless extension of your service. So we've said that this is a disciplined market, not urgent, not collapsing, selective. Buyers don't get less selective once they're in contract. They can intensify during inspection. So week 3 is about managing inspections with clarity, so expectations don't unravel under pressure. Inspections aren't about finding problems, they're about protecting leverage in a selective market. Let me switch over to my other presentation. Is it something else? Yeah. Okay. Let me get to that screen. So this is week 3 of your guide to Texas real estate. I'm going back to our core value. We believe that being clear is kind and communicate with radical candor. This is very important when you're talking about inspection, setting somebody up for an inspection, setting the expectations of what is going to happen. As a newer agent, I didn't know any of this stuff. This is stuff that I kind of learned and have experienced, and had bad things happen and people get mad. And I know that 2 people sitting at this table have had some of those things happen too, where things just go sideways, and that happens. So last session, we learned how to protect deadlines. This week, we're going to learn how to protect emotion. So when I was closing 50, 70 deals a year, I kept seeing the same pattern, same question, same confusion, same friction. Why do deals wobble with inspections? Because inspection reports feel like verdicts, long, technical, and alarming. Not because homes are bad, but because buyers misread information without guidance. So this exists so inspection reports don't become emotional exits. We're going to remove friction and earn trust. So this is a new slide that I put together this morning, and it talks about the first week, which was about trust, the second week, which was about time. This week is about emotion, and then next week we're going to talk about negotiation, position, and leverage. So most transactions fail for predictable reasons, not because homes are bad, but because these 4 things can break down during the process. One of those things is breaking down if you're backing out or if you're terminating. When these 4 are protected, deals close. Now, there is the case that some things don't need to close, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But our job is not to sell houses. Our job is to keep deals from falling apart because of one of those four things. If it falls apart because the house is a foundation issue, that's something different, right? Okay. What an inspection is and what it is not. Let me go ahead and hand out these, and then I'll put these back into the brokerage announcements channel this afternoon so you guys can have them. There's two different books here. One is this book about this, and then we're going to talk about the other thing in the back packet in just a moment. Mr. Kevin, and see you, sir. And Mr. Christian. Okay. So, an inspection is a safety review. It is a system snapshot. It is a visual, non-invasive evaluation. It is not a pass-fail test. It is not a warranty. It is not a prediction of lifespan, and it is not a list of required fixes. Setting that expectation up front with a buyer is an important thing, and some of the paperwork that's in that I just handed you that you guys will see online will reiterate that and prove it. So the inspection timeline. So send the buyer something similar to the about inspections inspector referral sample email, which is at the very back of the back packet. It's an email that I send to my clients. That's the back. Turn it over one page, Andrew. It's actually 2 pages long. But yes, it's the front and the back of the last page. And this is an email that I send to my clients to prepare them for the inspection. So I put a house in contract yesterday in those Woodland Springs. This email went out to my clients last night with this exact email. Huh? Do what?
Yeah, is your assistant available?
Yeah, was there somebody I can
For us
pay
to
to
do
do?
these things?
You set them up as a template in your Gmail and then it gets sent automatically.
I do have 2 templates set up. I used that.
Good. So you send them something about this. This is just a sampling, and everybody here knows how this works. So I'm not teaching anybody anything new here. Sample option period, 5 days. Option day 0 to 1, you schedule. Day 2 to 3, you inspect. 3 to 4, you review. 4 to 5, you negotiate. Here's a 7-day one. Just as an example of what we're talking about of how this works. But remember that time pressure amplifies emotion. You have to leave early, especially if you're on a short window like a 5-day option period. You want this information quickly and you need it to negotiate. Why reports feel scary? Inspectors must document everything. Minor and major appear side by side. So minor issues, a loose outlet cover, a GFCI outlet missing, a cosmetic crack in a driveway. Major issues, foundation settlement, electric panel overheating, or a pool leaking. Your role is to separate signal from noise. Your role is a guide. You help buyers focus on safety concerns, structural issues, water intrusion, major systems near end of life, but not cosmetic items, not routine maintenance, not age-related wear. Leadership equals prioritization. Now, I want to talk about that a little bit. So this is how my brain, and maybe your brain does too, categorizes what's important. A tier 1, safety and structural, something that's going to hurt my people. Electrical hazard, active water intrusion, foundation movement, or a roof failure. Maybe a tier 2 would be HVAC near the end of life, but it still works. And the seller's going to say, but it works. Okay, but it works. Aging water heater, plumbing defects, functional issues like a minor leak or a door alignment, a window seal. Then you get to cosmetic, caulking, paint, nail pops. Leadership is knowing which tier to negotiate on. Emotional management. Common buyer reaction is, this report is terrible. Your response is, it's thorough, and that's good. Let's walk through what actually matters. Emotion is normal, escalation is optional. When a buyer overreacts, slow the conversation. Separate the facts from tone. Ask, what specifically concerns you most? Reconnect them to why they chose the house and re-anchor to risk versus maintenance. Calm leadership prevents that escalation. For instance, house owner review call. This report is thorough. That's good. Every house has a list. Our job today is to separate maintenance from material risk. Let's walk through 3 to 4 items that actually matter for your decision. Fear of report findings can be handled with a professional attitude. Negotiation strategy. Anyone can ask for everything. Professionals prioritize. If everything is urgent, nothing is. With buyer priorities in mind, we negotiate safety, structural, significant financial impact, or major system failures. But remember, we negotiate for risk, not retail value.
And I think that I already use that word prioritize when we get an inspection. And I tell them to like review it and then we'll write a list and then we will get together and prioritize the repairs. And it
Absolutely.
sort of sets the expectation of like, you're
Some
not,
are more important than others.
yeah.
So
So what do
this
you
is-
mean back on that last one where you said, we negotiate for risk, not retail value? So
You're not talking about what it's gonna cost to do the AC. You're talking about what's the risk involved. You're negotiating on the risk. You're putting that into a priority and saying, this is a tier 2 HVAC nearing end of life still open. What's the risk? Do we negotiate now? We didn't put in a home warranty. Now we do. We asked them as part of the option period to put in that home warranty to protect that AC system. You're protecting the risk more so than saying we need a $12,000 AC system. That the seller's going to go, no, it still works.
Yeah.
You're changing the way that you talk about it. So here's something. This actually happened to me a month ago. We had the report included a roof repair. Had a roofer come out. Told us it was $4,200. There was a bunch of mortar cracking. You know how the stone and the brick get together and they heat up differently and they kind of caulk or crack right there at the mortar joint. So some of that was going on. There were some interior cracks. There was just settlement. The house was not that very old. Rusted dishwasher rack and a carpet repair. Carpet needs to be stretched. So total possible exposure was between $7,300 and $8,950. Best we could tell. So I went to the client and I said, what's the most important thing? He said, the roof. The roof's the most important thing. I said, great. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask for a $7,000 concession. And I'm going to give them a Word document that had all of this information on it. And I said, our risk exposure here is between $7,300 and $9,000. That's how much we think is at risk here. However, we're going to ask you for a $7,000 concession instead of $9,000. The seller countered, but before I even said this to them, when he said the roof, I said, if we get close to $3,500, you win. Because we're asking for $7,000. If we get close to $3,500, $3,500, you win automatically. We have to give the seller a win as well. So I said $7,000, seller counted at $3,000. Then we went back and said, well, if you'll just do the roof at $4,200, we'd be good and move forward. And the seller counted at $3,500. And I said, take it. That's exactly where we wanted to be. So going over a little bit, but not to the top, not to the 9,000. This is a better number. This is more palatable when they see this number. You ever heard of the paint the porch theory? So like if you have a list of things and you want that faucet fixed and you need the AC serviced and you need, I don't know, an electrical plug fixed. You got 3 or 4 things. You say those 3 or 4 things and you say, and we want the front porch painted. And the seller goes, why? I'll fix the faucet, I'll fix the plug. I'm not painting the porch, it's fine. Okay, that's good. So, but don't ever put everything on an inspection report. Because the listing agent's like, I'm not going to look at all of that stuff and say yes to all of that. The only time that really occurs is in a flip kind of position. If you've got a flipper that has the contractors to fix the things that he didn't know about, that's a different situation entirely. That's not what we're talking about here. So we focused on the tier 1 risk, which was the roof, and ignored the other noise. We interpreted, prioritized, negotiated. Everybody wound up having the seller and the buyer, and we closed it in 24 days. Not every deal should be saved. Obviously, the buyer's best situation is the priority. Sometimes you need a specialist, and I'm going to tell you a story real quick. So sometimes you need a structural engineer. Sometimes you need an electrician, an HVAC tech, or a plumber. We recommend specialists when the cost of uncertainty is higher than the cost of clarity. My clients, the ones that I put in contract yesterday in Villages, Woodland Springs, wanted to look at this really big house in Park Glen that they had no business buying, put on the market over 500 days. I'm asking why. I give it the agent. It's a flipper. They've had it. They've tried to sell it. I go back and I look at the property history. Been on and off the market since 24. Been there a while. Something is amiss. It looks cute inside. I go out the back and you can see that. Remember that wood siding that they put on in the 70s and 80s that's kind of cardboardy? Once you get it painted, it's okay, but it's usually done as a soffit. Well, they were using it as a siding, and it had this big roll in it. I'm thinking, there's something really wrong here. So I called Integrity Foundation Repair and I said, can y'all please come do this? They came out and on our second showing, because I scheduled the client, I said, meet the foundation inspector, 10 a.m. Monday morning. Let's look. You get a chance to look at the house again, and then I'll have the foundation guy look at it while we're there. All of us were there 10 minutes. It's fine. He said it was the best foundation he's seen in Fort Berlin ever. But I told my clients, I said, but we still don't know because the seller filled out the TREC seller's disclosure, not the TXR. So it's that 3-page document of, now, I didn't live here and I don't, yes, no, I don't know. I'm like, there's a lot of unknowns and you guys are first-time home buyers. You would have a lot of risk to buy this house. Yes, I can get your earnest money back if we back out, but you're going to be on the hook for inspection and we're going to find things because this house has been on the market for 500 days and never been on contract. So I didn't really talk about it. I wasn't steering them, but as first-time home buyers and previous clients' kids, I didn't want that on them. So I steered them to a house that backs up to a lake in Village of Woodland Springs, and they got a smoky deal.
I'm really kind of disappointed.
And me?
Yeah.
You didn't send it to hers until.
Yeah, what's that?
They didn't have
one.
They didn't want
like it. It has a pool.
wisdom. They didn't want a pool. They wanted the lake view. Wisdom is knowing when you need a specialist. What street's your house on?
Deaf Creek.
No, we didn't look at Deaf Creek. That wasn't in their criteria.
Yeah.
So red flags, specialist possible. Foundation issues, movement, extensive repairs. You're looking around doors and windows. You're looking at our office. You're looking at these corners here and you're going, there's some movement going on. In the garage, I walk out in the garage and I let them look at the space. I'm going out and I'm looking at that outside edge of the garage above the garage door because that's where you're going to see it first. If it's raking, where you've got a seam that does this, that means that you've got something going wrong. You've got a wall moving in the wrong direction of the other wall, or if it's splitting open. That can sometimes be wind, but those are things that you're going to be looking for while you're walking these houses. Water intrusion, active mold. You walk in, you smell water. If it's not pier and beam, why? You know, we walked into one of those houses Monday and it was real wet smelling. So, and then I walked on the carpet and walked in the bathroom and I was like, oh, they just cleaned the carpets. So they haven't turned on the air conditioner to dry out the carpet yet. And it's starting to smell moldy because they didn't do that. It was vacant. Roof leaks with damage. I'm not a big proponent of pulling down the pull down stairs and sticking my head up and looking to see if I can see water damage on the deck. But if you smell it and if you can see something from the outside, like shingles missing, I think it's worth your time to pull down stairs down before your people put an offer on something and spend money on it. Evidence of flooding or standing water, wet insulation, major system failures, looking at the AC system, looking how old it is, at least looking if it's, if it's level, if it's sitting wonky like this, cockeyed like that, well, then it's probably not working right. Electrical panels. We've talked about the electrical panels in this class before. The Federal Pacific, the Sylvanias. What was the other one? Oh, there's another one that's Loctite or something like that. But if it looks wonky, it probably is wonky, and you're going to have a problem there. Safety hazards, exposed electrical wiring, hazardous materials, financial reality check, total reserves. If you're looking at something and you're thinking, man, I've heard people talk about a lender required repair before, and you've never seen one, get on Slack and ask. Take a picture and say, hey, is this going to be something that somebody thinks is a lender required repair? Stairways that go up places without a handle. That's a violation that has to be corrected. Gut check, lost confidence in the home condition, inspection reveals seller concealed major defects, stress of repairs outweighs enjoyment of home. Terminating isn't always failure. Sometimes it's strategic protection. The lady that bought the house out in Alita that I was talking about, she had put an offer on another house in Southwest Fort Worth that was owned by the kids of GL Hunt from GL Hunt Foundation. House was 4 inches out of level, one side to the other. Wow. And we backed out and they said, hey, we own a foundation company, we will fix it. She's like, I don't want anything to do with that because even if they fix it, then I got to deal with the inside and then I'm looking long term. So we backed out one part of it.
Y'all should have fixed it.
They should have fixed it. They should.
You lost
if
the
you own a
buyer
foundation
because of that.
company,
Yeah.
I'm talking about being reactive rather than proactive.
Yeah. So inspection versus appraisal. This is a big one. Inspection equals condition, which is fire protection. Evaluate physical risk. Prepare our clients for water report will show. Appraisal is about value, rent protection. Evaluate the market, support for the price. Prepare our clients for how value is justified. Mixing the two creates unnecessary stress. So these are two separate things that we need to be telling buyers. The inspection is this, the appraisal is this, but the appraiser can come in and go, I want those, that fixed. And they need to know that, especially if you're going FHA versus conventional, you need to know those things, at least have a concept of them, of what an FHA inspector is going to write or appraiser is going to write. So where deals fall apart and what great agents do. Deals at risk, they're poorly framed, over negotiating minor items, and emotional exits. Better agents frame before emotion, categorize before negotiating, and slow the moment. Calm leadership builds trust. It makes the client feel like they've done this before and they know what they're doing. The bottom line, inspections don't kill deals. Poor expectation management does. Your job is to interpret, prioritize, lead, and protect leverage. We don't react to reports. We prioritize what matters. Before your next inspection, send me about inspections guide, which is that email right there. And then the guide that will be, the actual guide will be on the brokerage announcements channel and in Tony's email, but it's got the full thing about what a client needs to know. I believe it's the front part of the packet is the about inspections. Yes, it is. So, but this is the agent facing version of it, just so you guys know. I've kind of separated those out so you guys can know it. Frame expectations before the report arrives. Schedule a review call before the buyer receives the report. Don't wait and forward the PDF. So I've got an inspection scheduled for Friday at 11 o'clock. My client's going to meet him, the inspector, over at around 2:30 or 3. I've already got a call scheduled for about 4 o'clock because he's going to go through the list with my client. Then he will send the report 30 minutes later. That gives me 30 minutes to browse through it, see if there's anything big that we need to discuss. I've already got a call scheduled. Hey, I don't see anything big. Oh my God, the report's awful. It's really not. It's thorough. It tells us a lot about what we need to know about this house. Now we need to prioritize and see if this is the right house that you want to move forward before our option period ends. Expectation management happens before the report. So what I do, frame the inspection before it happens. Review the report with the buyers, prioritize before negotiating, remove panic, and build clarity. So next week, we're going to go a little bit deeper on professional negotiations. We're going to talk about protecting leverage, structuring amendments, avoiding emotional overreach, and turn partial wins into strategic wins. Then we do spring break. Nothing happens that week. The week after, we will come back. The last week is March the 25th, and we will do the full guide where I'll give you the full thing that you can modify how you see fit and give to your clients, like I give to mine. You can put your name on it. I don't care. And this puts the whole system together for your guide to Texas real estate. Any questions? Anything that you would like to say?
I was gonna say, one thing that I do for my clients before the inspection, and as I always say, hey, this is gonna, like you said, it's gonna be super detailed. That's the inspector's job, but a lot of it is gonna be honey-do lists for like maintenance items on a house over time. So we're gonna focus on the 5 to 7. I say honey-do list because I put a lot. Well, like I said, start making your honey-do list.
Yep. Love maintenance stuff.
Yeah.
Mansfield crew, y'all got anything? Y'all are full screen for us right now. Hello, Mansfield crew. Hello, Mansfield.
Nope. Maybe it's behind.
There's Clarissa. Okay.
I tell you,
There might be a little bit of a lag there. Might be a little bit of a lag.
You're just shouting at them.
How cute is the camera?
tell them like that?
So you can hear
For now that you know.
They can turn their mic on.
Oh, shit.
I thought they were coming first Wednesday.
Right, fixing. What
Here you are.
Hi.
Hey.
Good to see you guys. Thank you for joining us.
We got donuts.
Our vendor brought us donuts, Patty. This was
Excellent.
good today, Brian. Thank you. We took lots of screenshots.
Good. I will get everything into the brokerage announcements channel for everyone. Jenny, Ashley, Angela, Brian, and Victoria, thank you guys for joining us all today. Next week, 9:45 with Jeff Harden and Akoya Insurance. bring breakfast, and we will do professional negotiations at 9:45. Please join me. Thank you all. See you soon.
You're like,
You live across the street from me.
A little bit. I planned that a little bit on purpose.
They own the company, so they like, oh, you know, oh, yeah, and I went through you said, and he's saving me $3,000 a year on insurance plus what you
down.
They said 2026.
I
they're
really
releasing
think that
that.
would
I'm hoping. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm hoping.